Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at an extremely awesome project, something I've been wanting to cover on this channel for like over 2 weeks now, and that is the USB4VC. This right here is an extremely amazing Kickstarter project that allows you to use modern peripherals on vintage computers. And I'm not talking just USB keyboards and mice, I'm talking Bluetooth game controllers. I mean, this thing is incredible. It's developed by a guy who goes by dekuNukem, and he's actually a viewer of the channel, so thanks so much for watching the videos, I really appreciate it. And that's how I first heard about this. He emailed me about, I'd say a month ago now, and he said, hey, I've been working on this project for the past couple months and I thought it would be really cool for you to showcase on the channel, and he was willing to send me a prototype unit right here, and well, it finally showed up. Like I said earlier, I wanted to take a look at this 2 weeks ago, but long story short, the US Postal Service sucks. They lost this package. I thought I was never going to see it again, and of course it has to be with something that's like this is a prototype unit right here. So it's not like something that's going to be widely available, right? Luckily they found it, to their credit, and it showed up eventually. It just took way longer than I wanted it to, but hey, I could go on a whole rant about that. Let's get to what you're actually here for. Let's open this thing up and take a look at it. The Kickstarter, by the way, has already been funded like 10 times over. This thing got a lot of attention recently. But, you know, if you'd still like to support it, that link will be down below. But let's take a look at what we got in here. So first off, we've got a couple of cables. We'll come back to these in a moment. And we have a nice letter right here from dekuNukem himself. And let's open it up here and read it. So it says, "Hi Michael, thank you very much for checking out USB4VC. The amazing work of you and other retro tech YouTubers inspired me to start working on this project over the past few months." That is awesome. That is really, really cool. USB4VC is an open source active protocol converter that lets you use USB keyboard, mouse, and gamepads on a wide range of retro computers. With a modular design, different platforms are supported by swapping out protocol cards. We'll touch on that in a moment here. There's the GitHub page if you want to go check this out. And he's also included this, which sounds really cool by the way, the dekuPad, which is a mechanical macro pad that lets you automate keyboard and mouse actions to streamline workflows. And you can use it with USB4VC, which we will definitely be doing. Hope you like the toys. I tested with my own collection of machines, but it's most likely not 100% bug-free at the moment, so if you run into any issues or have any questions or comments, please do let me know and I'll try my best to help. Best regards, Alan. Yes, Alan is his name, but as I said, he goes by dekuNukem online. So, yeah, let's take everything out here, and we'll take a look. This right here is the dekuPad, so we'll come back to that. And he's got everything very nicely labeled here. So this right here is the base, the IBM PC and ADB protocol cards, an SD card, and in this one right here, you've got your labels, rubber feet, plates, PS2 cable, ADB cable, and fasteners. So let's go ahead and open these two boxes up, and I'll show you what everything looks like, and I'll show you how the protocol cards that are included really allow for just all sorts of customizability, and just allows you to use this with a variety of different vintage computers. At the moment, at launch, the only two that are going to be available are the IBM PC and Compatibles protocol card and the ADB protocol card, which you can use on vintage Macs and the Apple IIgs that use the ADB protocol. It looks like we've got two PS2 cables, which is very, very nice. Definitely appreciate that. And here's our ADB cable right here. We've also got your standoffs and screws to fully assemble this thing. Got a couple of sticker sheets. There's also this other sheet of stickers right here. I love the Millennium compliant, Y2K compliant. Oh yeah, I'm always into that. So we'll set that aside. And we've got a couple of, these are the rubber feet right here. And then right here, these are essentially little bases that allow you to just mount everything to. And we'll take a look at what we've got here. So this is essentially all of the good stuff, the hardware that you guys are probably really interested in. So you got the base, the two protocol cards, and there's an SD card in here as well, which just very nicely popped out right there. 32 gig. That's nice. Thank you very much. And here is everything. So we're just going to go ahead and carefully remove these. So those look like the two protocol cards, and this right here looks like the USB4VC itself. So this works by utilizing a Raspberry Pi, of course, right? And then you've got this IDE looking connector right here, and that's what you connect the protocol cards to. This is the Apple Desktop Bus protocol card. So you got two ADB ports on the top there. On the right side, you've got a USB-C port for power, and on the left, you've got that IDE style connector. You also have a couple buttons on here. One of them, which is really neat, is you've got an ADB power button. So you know how ADB keyboards from Apple will have a power switch, or a power button rather, on it, so you can turn on your Mac? Well, you can do that through this button right here, just as if you had an Apple ADB keyboard sitting in front of you. So that's very nice. And right here, we have the IBM PC and compatibles protocol card. So this one, you see, you got a lot more connections on it. So you got two PS2 ports on the top there, one for a keyboard and one for a mouse. You could also use an adapter to connect an AT style keyboard to the PS2 keyboard port right there if you want to. On the side, you've got a 9-pin serial, a 15-port game port on the bottom there, and then you got that IDE style connector on the left side. Alright, so we've got the IBM protocol card installed here, and just to give you a little brief synopsis of how this actually works, what you would do is you would take your cables right here, and you would connect your, you don't have to connect all of them at the same time, but you can. So you could plug in the PS2 keyboard, PS2 mouse port, the 9-pin serial, and the 15-pin game port to your vintage computer. And then on the Raspberry Pi, the USB ports on it, you would plug your modern peripherals into. So if you wanted to use a USB keyboard and have the vintage computer see it as a PS2 keyboard, you would configure that. It's all configurable from this little display panel right here. That's how you can change what protocols are currently active. And you can also use Bluetooth devices with this as well, which is extremely cool. So if I wanted to use an Xbox controller, a wireless Xbox controller, and have the vintage machine see it as a 15-pin game port gamepad, yeah, you can do that, and we're going to be trying that out a little bit later on in the video. First, we need to get this thing put together, which is extremely simple thanks to dekuNukem's detailed instructions on the project's GitHub page. I didn't assemble it entirely. I chose to keep the protocol card detached from the base so I could easily swap it out, and I also left the top cover detached so I could remove the Raspberry Pi if needed. Now, in terms of compatibility, the USB4VC works with Pis dating back to the original Model B+, so you don't have to have the latest model or go out and spend a ton of money on one, because yeah, they're fetching a lot these days with the chip shortage and all. The reason it doesn't work with the original Model B is due to it having only 26 GPIO pins instead of the necessary 40. This means it won't work with the Pico either, but it will work with the Raspberry Pi Zero. You'll just have to purchase the header, solder it on, and get a USB hub to connect devices. Now, a bit more about the protocol cards. The only two that will be available when the Kickstarter concludes are the IBM PC and ADB cards, but dekuNukem has said that more cards for other platforms are a possibility. Even better, you could make your own if you want, as he plans to release detailed instructions on how to do so around the time the first batch of orders start shipping. So with all that aside, let's get this thing hooked up and try it out. So yeah, you know me, we gotta use the $5 Windows 98 PC, but we are gonna get to using the ADB card later on in this video because I want to try that out on my Macintosh SE. But yeah, so right here you can see we've got everything plugged in, fully assembled, so this is how it looks when it's up and running. And right now I've got an Apple USB keyboard plugged in, and you can see that it works totally fine. And I've also got a wireless USB mouse plugged in here, and so I can move that around. I mean, yeah, it's that simple. It's that easy to set up here. I mean, this computer does have native USB support. It's got USB ports on the motherboard that I can plug this keyboard and mouse into, but the cool thing is it's seeing this as a PS2 keyboard and it's seeing this as a PS2 mouse. That's what makes this really special. But you can use any USB input device and have the computer see it as a PS2 keyboard or mouse. Like, for example, this right here, this is the ducky pad that I mentioned a little bit earlier on in the video. This is it fully assembled. He very graciously included this in the box as well. And this is a really cool mechanical macro pad that is extremely customizable. And so we're going to connect it. We're going to plug this USB-C cable, or the USB-A end of the USB-C cable, into the Raspberry Pi. And then we're going to take the other end here and plug it into the top, and it will immediately power on. And I mean, this thing is, this is really cool. I mean, it's got, you know, backlighting here, which changes, and that's one of the macros that I just pressed here. So you've got this little screen here that tells you exactly. Let me just zoom in here, and I'll change the focus so you can see it a little bit better. So this is the current preset, and this is all. I mean, there's this SD card in here that that came with it. That's got all these presets in here, and so, you know, this first one is your kind of generic Windows 10 control, so volume up and down, mute, task manager, disk manager, and I just hit disk manager there, and that's what opens up run and types in disk mgmt.msc, which on Windows NT based systems would open up disk management. Unfortunately, here on Windows 98 that's not the case, but you know, it's still, like, it still works. I can press that, opens up run, and it does it. There's also this really awesome included macro down here, the 3 question marks. You press that, and it opens up a very specific YouTube URL that you will know if you if you've mistakenly clicked on it before many times and you got tired of it, that you wanted to memorize the URL. Now this is very useful for what we're in right now. This is the DOS preset, and so if I were to open up, let's go to run here and open up a DOS prompt. And so this top left one does a directory listing, dir/p. This one does a Y directory listing, or dir/w/p. And again, these are just the basic, like, included presets on this SD card, but this is extremely customizable. There you go. That's a little brief demo of the ducky pad there. We'll set that aside, because I'm sure what you guys are really interested in, especially if you saw my Twitter post about this, because I did mention this over on Twitter, that I was using an Xbox controller on a Macintosh SE. And so, yes, you can use game controllers for modern game consoles and have your computer, your vintage machine, in the case of the IBM PC and Compatibles card that we've got installed in here, it can see it as either a gamepad controller plugged into the 15-pin game port on the back of the machine, which is this larger connector here, or it can see it as a keyboard and mouse. That's freaking awesome. Now, you can connect these wired, just with a USB-C cable here, or you can connect it wireless. I'll just show you wired here first. So we've got it plugged in here, and the protocol is currently set, as you can see, that bottom listing there is set to generic 15-pin. So if I go into settings here and go into control panel, and we go into game controllers, I've got this 4-button gamepad added here, status OK. I can go to properties, and you can see as I move the analog stick, it moves the X and Y axis there. And then down here, A is button 1, B is button 3, X is 2, Y is 4. Or what I can do is I can press on this center button here on the USB4VC unit. And this is the menu where you can change the active protocol for all the devices you have plugged in. So if we scroll over to gamepad protocol, we can change that from generic 15-pin, we press the center button, to mouse and keyboard. And then we go over here, you see you got mouse sensitivity, you can change the joystick curve, and then you got save and quit. So we'll save it, and now it's going to see this as a mouse and keyboard. So as I move the analog stick, it moves the cursor around, and I can go up here. I believe this trigger here is mapped for right clicking, this is left clicking here. So I can go down to properties, you know, you can change the desktop wallpaper, I mean, do whatever you want. And then this right here is mapped to your arrow keys. And I mean, yeah, you can, it's freaking cool. Now, unfortunately, I could not get this Xbox controller to work over Bluetooth, and it turns out, as I was emailing dekuNukem about this, this is a problem with the Raspberry Pi itself. For whatever reason, these newer Xbox controllers have issues connecting to the Raspberry Pis via Bluetooth. dekuNukem tested 360 controllers and Xbox One controllers extensively, and they work totally fine. But we can use my Nintendo Switch controller here. This is a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, and I'll show you how you can get this connected here. So from this main screen here, all you have to do is hit the minus button once, and you're over here at pair Bluetooth. So you hit the center button, and it'll say put your devices in pairing mode. So I'm going to take the Switch controller here. Pairing success. There you go. So we just press the center button once more, and now I can go here, and since we've not changed the protocol, it's still seeing this as a mouse and keyboard. I can move around, and it moves the mouse cursor around. I mean, it's so cool. I mean, I just love it, man. I love everything about this. Like, I'm going to say that, just fair warning, multiple times throughout this video, because I just find this, like, freaking incredible. So we've got a couple games on here. First off, let me just set this back to gamepad mode here. Now, the first game I'd like to try out is Pong the Next Level, which was a generous viewer donation from Alex. He sent this to me a while ago. The funny thing is, I may actually still have this somewhere, because I know that I played this game when I was younger. Oh, and by the way, the Switch controller here, it still acts like it's searching, but, you know, it is properly connected to the USB4VC. So, okay, we're going to continue here. We'll launch the game, and we'll just get out of this, skip that. We get, oh yeah, that classic loading screen. I remember this. Yeah, if you've never played this particular version of Pong before, you'll probably be like, oh my gosh, what is this? Like, they've really, like, they just made this something else, let me tell you. So we're gonna go to options here, and we're gonna go to I love how, like, you have to go, this is labeled as options, so you go to options and then you have to select options again. So okay, we're in options, we go to controllers, change controllers, player 1. And we're gonna change this to I think joystick 1. And I mean, like, from here on out, I mean, it's, you know, Pong, just with a bit of a twist here. So unfortunately, yeah, like, going down is, I don't think that's mapped properly, because it doesn't, like, you see how, like, going up here, like, I'm red, by the way, blue is just, like, mimicking my moves there. So going up is, like, pretty fast, but, like, going down, like, see, I can go up like that. I go down, it's just, it's a bit slower, so I don't think it's mapped properly in this case. But I mean, it still freaking works. And of course, what I can do is just go here and change this over to mouse and keyboard. Yep, there we go. That's a lot better. Now the analog stick in this case, it's actually mapping the, yeah, it's mapping the D-pad as up and down, as like the up and down arrow keys. Yeah, so you can see how long that we can spend in here. But let's go ahead and quit out of this, and because I got some other games on here that I definitely want to try out. We're going to go ahead and try out, of course, we would be remiss if we do not try out Doom. I do have a copy of Doom 2 in this case installed here. Let me swap this back to a proper gamepad there. So you can see it's found a joystick. We're going to keep it centered and press button 1, which is B, I believe. We'll push it to the upper left and press button 1. And then to the lower right and press button 1 again. There we go. I mean, it's... And so let's go to new game here. We'll do Hurt Me Plenty. And I mean, there it is, like, there. It's so just, it's so absurd, but it's so amazing. I mean, I just love it, man. I love it. It's, oh gosh. So yeah, I mean, there it is. Like, we can go through and play Doom 2 with a Switch Pro controller. And, well, I got a bit too trigger happy there. I went out of ammo. But yeah, I mean, there you go, guys. Like, what more can you say? I could play Doom 2. Maybe you want to play through the entirety of Doom 2 with a Switch controller? Well, you can, if you really want to. I think that's pretty much everything on the IBM PC and compatibles line of things. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Macintosh SE. And we're going to take a look at the ADB protocol card. Alright, so this is where things get really cool. Right here, we've got my trusty Macintosh SE FDHD. And we're going to power it on here. We've got the USB4VC all hooked up with one ADB cable plugged into the back of the machine and to one of the ADB ports on the protocol card there. So, I can move the mouse here and... I mean, it's just, oh my gosh, it's so incredible. Let me just move it here so you can see me properly doing it on the table here. So there you go. I mean, I could use my Mac SE here with a modern USB wireless mouse. And of course, we can use our keyboard here with it as well, and this fittingly is an Apple keyboard. This is kind of a mini Marchantage video, I just realized that. Let's go up here and let's do keycaps, and we can bring in the keyboard here, and there you go. Now, of course, I need to show you guys the Switch controller here, so... It's just, every time I do it, I just can't, like... Oh my god, it's just, I don't know what to say. I mean, other than I'm just blown away, man. Like, even after trying this with the Xbox controller, but it's even cooler with, I mean, it's wireless. It's like, this is just magic, man. This is like, oh gosh. So, yeah, there you go. And once again, now of course with the Mac here, you've only got one mouse button. So that is, I believe, this trigger here, the left trigger. So... yeah, it's the left back trigger there, or the, not the shoulder button, but the trigger button. So we can hold that. Actually, you can't keep it held down. Okay, so that's interesting. So I cannot hold down the trigger here, and that might be just with this Pro controller here. So there's no holding it down, which actually is a major problem on early Macs here, because that's how you get through the menus. You got to keep the mouse button held down as you go through. One other thing worth mentioning is this second ADB port on here acts just like a pass-through ADB port. So I could take my ADB mouse here, plug it in, and now I'm using the mouse here. So there you go. I'm going to say it again. This is freaking awesome. I absolutely love this. I mean, this is some incredible work, and guys, I would certainly recommend, you know, at least checking this out. It's one of the most clever projects that I've seen in a while, and it's right up this channel's alley. But we're not done yet, because I've got something a little special for you guys. Alright, so for those of you who watched until this point in the video, allow me to sincerely thank you. I really appreciate it. And you remember before how I said that there was a shipping delay with getting this package to me? Well, for the first time, that's actually a good thing. I mean, as you say, obviously the package showed up, but we thought it was lost. Me and dekuNukem were like, I don't know if this is going to show up. So he offered, and I really appreciate this, he offered to send me another unit right here. So this is another USB4VC base and the 2 protocol cards. And so now I've got 2 of these. Sorry, did I say I have 2? I meant I've got 3, because as it turns out, this package also got kind of sort of lost in the mail. It was the weirdest thing too, because the tracking said it was delivered just to a different person in a completely different city at a different address. And so I was like, what the crap is going on? Well, it turns out that it was delivered to a secondary shipping carrier that actually delivered it to me. But the tracking didn't say that. Like, usually it says handed off to, you know, delivery partner. It just said delivered, and someone signed for it. And I was like, what the heck happened? So luckily, this one showed up. But when I emailed dekuNukem about that, apparently he thought of sending me a 3rd one just in case this one did not show up. So obviously I don't need all of these. I only need 1, right? So I was talking with dekuNukem, and I proposed the idea of, what if I gave these away on the channel? Would you be okay with that? And he said, sure, because he's a cool guy. So thank you very much, dekuNukem, for giving me permission to do this. So yes, this is a giveaway video, and this is a giveaway video that you're only going to know about if you watched until this point in the video, or if you just got lucky enough and skipped to it here. I'm not going to be announcing this anywhere else, not on my Twitter, not in the description of this video, not in the comments, anywhere. This is only for you people watching right now. So if you're here, you've already done the first thing you have to do. So you're already ahead of the game. Now, unfortunately, and I really wanted to make this happen, but this is not going to be an international giveaway. I really wanted to, but I mean, giveaways are just weird, man. I mean, you would think it would be simple, like, I just want to give something away. Can I just, yeah, just do that, da-da-da. No, there's all these rules and regulations, and different countries have different, you know, laws, and it's just all, it just makes things very complicated. So, I definitely want to do an international giveaway at some point, but This one right now, especially with it being a physical product that I'm actually mailing out to you, just to keep things simple, it's going to be US only. So if you're in the US, or if you know somebody who lives in the US, maybe they can enter for you. All you have to do is go to this link on screen right now, mjd.yt/USB4VC. That'll take you to a page over on Gleamio, or Gleamio, however you say it, doesn't matter. You go there. You need to put in your name and your email address. It says full name. It doesn't actually have to be your full name if you're not comfortable with that. I totally get it. You can use your first name, last initial, username, whatever. The main thing is your email address, because that's how I'm going to get in contact with you if you win. Then you have to click on the one button that will take you to the project's Kickstarter page. Now, you don't have to back it or anything. This is completely free to enter. I just have to put a link there for you to click on so that Gleamio actually records your entry. The giveaway will run for 2 weeks from the day this video is uploaded. Here is the official end time and date, and you will be contacted via your email address that you provide if you win. So again, be sure to provide a proper email address. And for those of you who do win, you'll be getting the USB4VC itself, the 2 protocol cards. You'll be getting the cables, all the cables you need, so a 15-pin game port cable. You'll be getting the 9-pin serial, the 2 PS2 cables, and the single ADB cable. The only thing you won't be getting is a Raspberry Pi, so you'll need to have that or get one of them if you win. But what I think is really cool is you're going to be getting the prototype boards. These are not the boards that are going to be mailed out to people when the Kickstarter finishes. Only a handful of people have these. Obviously, dekuNukem himself, me, and a handful of other retro tech YouTubers that he's mailed these out to make videos on. That's all I know of. He could have certainly handed them out to other people, who knows. But the point is, not very many people have these, so I think that that's kind of cool, and that adds a bit of uniqueness to this. So yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, get subscribed, notifications, all that good stuff. Huge thank you again to dekuNukem for making this video possible and for making this thing, because it's freaking awesome. And huge thank you to all of you guys for watching. As always, I will see you in the next video.